What's the first word or phrase that comes to your mind when I say the word empowerment? Is it social movements that we commonly see on the news, or even online trends that influencers follow to support each other? Whatever you thought of, I think the majority of people in our society commonly conflate empowerment with achieving a large-scale outcome, of being able to majorly impact someone through granting them immense authority or power. And similarly, I used to think this way as well. But in this speech, I want to demonstrate to you that sometimes the fact that we want to make a world a better place step by step, in all its subjectivity and imperfection, is more than enough. That assigning value to seemingly minuscule actions that oftentimes is subtle, but the most empowering is when you execute it with a caring heart and great love. And to demonstrate this for you, I want to introduce to you my favorite rule or conduct. And you might be wondering, what is this rule? Is this a law, perhaps an amendment, a large-scale social agreement, or even a philosophical consensus? No. My favorite rule is quite innocent and in a way juvenile. My favorite rule is Disneyland's rule. One of the biggest thrills, I think, about being a kid going to Disneyland is meeting so many of your favorite characters that you only be able to interact with previously through your dreams or your imaginations. Characters like Mickey, Minnie, Snow White, or even Buzz Lightyear. There's just so many Disney characters walking through the park that you can actually interact with. Here's Disneyland's rule, that there's a rule for all the characters as they walk around the park called the hug rule. And the hug rule is that characters can never let go of a hug engaging with the child first. That the child is able to hug the Disneyland characters or the models for the Disneyland characters as long as they want. Why is this? The answer to this by Walt Disney himself was simple. That you never know how much that child may need the hug. And I think in this way, although the hug rule is something that not a lot of people know about, it's not a major rule or a major social agreement, or something that, like, for instance, the feminist or the Black Lives Matter movement created in terms of empowerment, I think the hug rule teaches us that engaging in small actions with great love, with care, is empowering as well. That each small action has the power to weave through disparate threads of our lives. That the quirks and passions of people from different chapters of our lives can equally be empowered with small actions insofar as you want a great outcome. That granting someone a lot of authority and power, self-meaning, is not about changing their life completely. It's about changing the subtle things that subconsciously matter to all of our lives. And conclusively, I think at its best, these small pieces, these small actions come together into something new and complete with richly and nostalgically familiar moments. So at the end of my speech, this is what I hope you can take away from my impromptu speech. That the next time you want to feel self-empowered or you want to empower someone else, for instance, your coworker or your best friend or even your family member, it doesn't need to start with a large-scale donation. It doesn't need to start with a large-scale action. All it requires sometimes is a simple hug. All it requires sometimes is a simple wave. All it requires sometimes is a simple smile. Because the simple hug, the simple wave, and the simple smile means a world of a difference in terms of empowering someone else's life. Thank you for listening.